All right, hello everybody. My name's Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and today we're going to learn about how to completely run your life in the highest and best way. All right, so I'm a psychologist in my day job. All right, and so you have your mental life, your physical life, your emotional, and your spiritual. All right, so remember these: your mental, your mind, your physical, like your body, you're working out and stuff like that. Uh, your emotional, you have feelings, you have past experiences that bring up feelings, you have people out there that trigger you. You can trigger yourself sometimes. So you have your emotions, and all of that is kind of and your spiritual path. Okay, and so the word psyche in Greek is soul. All right, and ology is the study of. So I always looked at psychology as the study of your soul. And all right, so I have about 100 tips for us, but we're not going to get to all 100 today. We're gonna go through some of these, and I also have I have this song that I wrote 3 years ago, and I'm not trying to promote my song because I don't have it on Spotify or anywhere to promote it yet. But I just trust this is the song that came up for us, right? And so what I learned how to do is organize this teaching that we have here in a song, because in childhood you get messages over and over and over again. Right? And you are this small person and they look like these giants. And so we internalized what they taught us by their actions, not their words. They could say, oh, we love you, but we're going to parentify you and you have to be our parents and we're going to create chaos and you have to create order. And then you get this God complex and you feel like you have to fix everything in the world, or you just get this, I give up, I'm worthless because I can't fix everything in the world. There's all these things that happen to us in childhood. And so the method that I use is this creative approach. So you can be loving towards yourself and kind and thoughtful and encouraging. But there's going to be one thing here. I'm going to start with this thing that I learned from Latoya. Just had a pop-up live class the other day. Latoya Okeia, Okeia. I just love this woman. She used to talk about being insecure about her Southern accent, and I grew up in the South too, so I know about having a Southern accent, but I don't have one anymore. All right, but and then she just through prayer and time with God. Now I'm always going to talk about our soul path, because why are we here? We are souls. We're in this body. And the world will tell you have to accumulate and get all these things for your ego and blow yourself up into this big, giant person, oh, I'm all that and more. You already are all of that. You don't have to prove yourself. All right. And so, so she was talking about being in this time with God in prayer, and it's okay. I welcome all religions. So just welcome, because you're meant to be free in your life. I want you to have emotional, spiritual, physical, psychological, mental, what did I leave out? Freedom, right? I want you to have freedom in your life. But this is your choice. Okay, so what Latoya, she said, so finally time with God got her into this place of going, you know what? People can make fun of me for my accent or not, or they can just push on, right? Move on. And so she, instead of trying to speak in all of these articulate ways in a different way than herself, she just started being herself, and it's like her videos are like gold, right? And so it's like it teaches you look past the appearance. Like right now I'm going through 2 weeks of not having any makeup. It's so weird to do this, but it's reminding me, look past appearance. Now I notice so much makeup on other people, and I notice how beautiful it is. I'm like, oh, I really want to put that back on, but I'm just giving my face time to replenish with nothing on it. But it's so strange to leave the house like this. So I invite you, just if you don't want to watch this video, then don't. But if you want to learn how to clean up your life and live in highest consciousness, and how to free yourself so that you're not in bondage. A lot of people don't realize they're so stuck. All right. I'm writing a book right now on 12 ways to heal trauma. And one of the things I was noticing when I was writing it is, wow, all of the enemy of our soul, if you understand who the enemy of our soul is, we're here to expose the enemy of the soul's playbook so that you can understand how to not be trapped under it. But if you don't understand that there is an enemy of your soul, the fallen one that Jesus talks about, all he has to do, all this entity has to do is make you internalize from childhood that you're worthless, right? When you internalize that you're worthless, or that you have to keep running to try to prove your worth, or once you prove your worth, oh, like I'm this big star in the world, right? Then you have to do all these things to maintain that. And it's like, no, you already are worth, because, and I was saying that earlier, because the Creator created you in the likeness and image of God. And if you weren't worth, then Christ wouldn't have come to die for everyone's sins. And now we can talk about that. I don't know if we'll get into that in this hour or not. But know that, like, is very simple. This is very simple, but very profound. It took me hundreds of thousands of dollars of spent money on school and going to classes and all of the other classes that I've taken, and the therapy that I've paid for myself, right? And the time I've taken, that's lots more hundreds of thousands of dollars, the time that I've taken to put all these free YouTube videos out, and videos wherever you're seeing this on the different platforms, to get to this place of understanding, wait, if he just convinces you, if the enemy of our soul just convinces you that you're worthless, or that you have to keep running after your worth, or you have to get your worth from other people, then you'll spend all of your time doing this, and you'll never be activating the gifts that are put inside you. Every single person has gifts. It's like, if you want to understand this, look up the parable that Jesus taught about the talents. And some people were given 2 talents or 5 talents or whatever, and they doubled them or they buried them and whatever. And so this is called burying your talents, but you're not even realizing you are, because people could be really talented and out there in the world and really acclaimed and charismatic, and yet they're still suppressing their real God-given original gifts that are in them. They're activating them in some ways, and that's amazing. It's amazing when people are excellent in what they do. I'm not diminishing that at all. I heard myself in a video that I was rewatching. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to diminish that pop star for like all of the energy that they put back in the world, and the love and the happiness that that person is bringing to people is phenomenal. And so I was just on a different mind frame for that moment. But nevertheless, so know that you are not worthless, and that is a lie that you have to keep going out there to find your worth. You have to wait for some guy to come back and go, you're worth marrying, right? Or you're worth some women to be like, oh yeah, I don't know, whatever, your job, your money, your bank account, your car, your clothes, blah, 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 blah. None of that says your worth. No one else knows your worth except the source, which is the Creator. And Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. And so you have access to know your real worth. All right. And so one thing that Latoya said, I want to start with this, even though I started with all that other preliminary stuff, is she says, and she got this from other people. And so this is what I wrote in my list of what I know, right? It says, you're either going to have to suffer the pain of discipline or regret. All right. And so the verse that goes with this is Jesus saying, what does it profit a man or a woman? An anthropos in Greek. I took Greek. What does it profit a man or a woman to gain the whole world and yet forfeit his or her soul? What does it mean if you have $100 million in your bank account, right? Gold. I don't know why I wanted to say that. All right. That's so funny. I hope that is for someone, because I'm like, where did that come from? So you can have $100 million in your bank account, and yet that can be taken from you. Thieves can break in. So Jesus said, store up for yourself treasures where thieves cannot break in. A moth can't, tear it through your Louis Vuitton. Does Louis Vuitton make just purses or clothes? I think I saw Bishop Olds wearing something that said Louis Vuitton on it. I just saw one of his videos popped up today when I was uploading something else, right? That guy's great. Like, he roller skates. Yeah, roller skating. Anyway, I roller skate all the time. Watch my roller skating videos. They help you get in this centered, grounded, zen place, right? They help you get into this peace that passes all understanding place. So Jesus said, what does it profit a person? And ask yourself this honestly, right? What does it profit you if you gain the whole world, but you lose your soul? If all of our lives or lifetime, this life here, or if people believe that we have past lives or whatever, I've read some people that said that the Christians believed that before the Council of Nicaea. I won't get into the debate of that. I'm just saying, if all of the lifetimes or just this life is about God helping you, wanting to help you this whole time to reform your soul so that your soul is light, like Gandalf after he went and fought the Balrog. Okay, you don't have to know the story. Someone complained to me that they don't know the story. Well, read the Lord of the Rings or I don't know, check out the book from your library. It's free, right? If you can access it, right? So in the Lord of the Rings, I love Tolkien. Tolkien is like my father. I've taken him in. He lost his mother and his father at a young age. I haven't spoken to my father in about 17 years. So Tolkien has stepped in to be a father to me, and other people have, right? And so Tolkien was writing when Gandalf fought the Balrog, it's just like an ego death. When you die to your old self and you let the old egotism die and fall away, then he was light as a feather after that. And so if you read Mere Christianity, that's free online, so you can look it up on YouTube. C.S. Lewis doodles. Watch all of Mere Christianity. It's so profound. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis were best friends, and C.S. Lewis came back to Christianity because of Tolkien. Now, C.S. Lewis had a photographic memory, and so he was quoting from all over the place. He's an amazing thinker, but he was talking about how each action, even if you kill a man in war, or if you're just so angry that you want to kill a person, each action that we do tweaks your soul to a certain way. And now Christ works with us in the Holy Spirit to metanoia is repentance, and theosis, it's not the word theosis. Theosis is like the Orthodox say God became man so that man could become God. You're being godified. This is the process. And now C.S. Lewis talks in Mere Christianity, says no one is 100% Christian. There are people becoming more and more like Christ, and that aren't even calling themselves Christians yet. And there are people that are becoming less and less like Christ that are still calling themselves by the name. This is a sad thing. But Jesus said, many will say, Lord, Lord, didn't we cast out demons in your name? And he'll say, get away from me. I never knew you. I didn't know you. And it's not because he's mean. It's because he's inviting us to understand this deepest truth is you're meant for your soul to evolve, to be renewed. Okay, and so the word metanoia, it is metanoia. The word noia in Greek is like your N-O-U-S, like a noose. Ian McKellen said nous, and he pronounced, maybe the British pronounce it a different way, but maybe he just didn't know how to pronounce it when he was talking in The Hobbit, right? I remember him saying Gandalf, the guy that played Gandalf in the movie. He had enough nous to when the three trolls were there. So you can look for that part. It's awesome. Because meta is metamorphosis. So metamorphosis of your nous is what's happening here. And so we're talking about, becoming the highest caliber, highest quality, highest consciousness of mental, emotional, physical, psychological. I don't know about physical. Physical does follow, and it's part of this. Now, if you're on Instagram or any of those other platforms, come over to YouTube. I'm going to do more on YouTube this time, and then I'm going to do the last half on my Soul Songs, Your Soul Songs website. That's my plan. All right. And so I want to get into this song, but I want you guys to understand. I want all of us to understand, not just you. I'm understanding as I am present to teach these videos. Is you're either going to have to suffer the pain of discipline, like be disciplined now in your life, or you're going to have to suffer the pain of regret. You know, I know someone right now that only has about 8 weeks to live. Now he's lived a very, very great life. And so he's not regretting, and he's getting to talk to everybody he wants to talk to. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, but it is super sad because he's my same age and he's not. Unless a miracle happens, so you can pray for a miracle. And I have a lot of people praying, and I believe a miracle could happen. But unless a miracle happens, he's not going to be here. And so it's just like, there's the regret, you know, but you don't get to control all of those things. None of us knows if we're going to die today, or in 100 years from now, they could come up with medicines that extend our life, that make us 25 all the time, right? And I have a feeling about that. I really do. I don't think it's just made up in my imagination. I think it's really from a deep knowing. All right. And so I keep saying, all right, it's okay. So just be deeply present with yourself. The first thing I have that I didn't even share with you guys, right, is the joy of the Lord is my strength. And that sounds like just a Bible verse. I'm not saying a Bible verse. It's a discipline to know how to be joyous. I had to do a lot of discipline in my life to stop going back to the negative thoughts. The negative thoughts were, my friend Elliott Smith had this song, and in one of the lyrics, he's passed away now, is follow the path of no resistance. You know, it's like, it's easier to keep going to the negative. It's easier to complain. But guess what? When you're complaining, you're making yourself a victim, and you are not a victim. None of us are victims, right? But the world system, the Babylon system, the devil's playbook, if you want to call it like that, the adversary will keep teaching you. I just got this revelation this morning. It was so like wild to me. Is that because I was watching a video yesterday, and I put it on Twitter, if you want to, or X, if you want to, formerly Twitter, if you want to go there and look at my tweets from, I think it'll be last week from the time you saw this. I watched this video on this guy who was a professional exorcist, and it wasn't scary. I made sure to write, this isn't scary, because I don't watch any scary things. But he was really talking about, anyway, if the devil fell, like Jesus said, the devil fell like lightning from the sky. You can believe this or not. He's lost. When Jesus died on the cross as a perfect man, he did all of the soul tweaking that all of us needed that brings us back to a perfect God. And so every legal requirement a perfect God requires of us, Jesus fulfilled that. Ask me about this. I'll talk all you want about it in the comments or whatever. I'll talk more about it. I don't know about all you want, but I have 900 videos on YouTube, so lots of them go into this. But so that Jesus did that. Okay, so Jesus did that and conquered the enemy of our souls. And the enemy of our souls does not want any Christians to know this, doesn't want non-Christians to know this, doesn't want anybody in the world to know this. And so he is living a defeated life, and he wants you, this is what I got so much from that video, so amazing. He wants you to have this experience like you're defeated, like you're a victim. Like, no, the devil's a victim. This is exactly what the narcissist tries to do. All right, and so this is how you get over narc abuse and being attached and hooked into the narcissist, where we keep going back to the narcissist and we keep gaslighting ourselves and thinking we're no good. And watch my video it's in the narcissist playlist, right? It's where I talk about, it was like the spiritual cure for narcissism. And where I got this, I was blown away, because it was like, it's like we keep comparing ourselves to other candles when we have access to the sun. God is like the sun. God is way more than the sun. But all right. I'm going to sing this song because it's going to help ground all of these things. The way I do the songs is that we had all these messages repeated to us. I was starting to tell you this, to teach you this. We had all these messages repeated in childhood. And so what I found, because I was so desperate to stop being in that dark, depressive, suicidal, anxious, hopeless place. All right. I'm not laughing about it. That's what I was experiencing. And I was so tired of that I kept getting songs, and I know all of this psychology. And so the songs, I would attach all this psychology, the psychological training and learning, because repetition is the mother of skill. I learned that a lot from LaToya and from the Tony Robbins crowd, and from, I took a week-long Dr. Joe Dispenza class and some Eckhart Tolle class, lots of Eckhart Tolle classes. The Power of Now, amazing. All right. And so what I found is my own method to teach people, and I have a patent pending on this, right? So I can talk about it now, is that when I teach you guys for an hour, or I have a 2-hour live of a U2 song where you really get how to do this, how to do it yourself, and how to have it done for you. It's like, anyway, I was thinking like, it's like a massage. What happens is when you anchor the new teaching, the new way of thinking that I'm always talking about, so you can just keep watching my videos over and over again. You don't have to listen to the songs, but when you anchor these psychological teachings with a song, then all you have to do is watch the psychological teachings a few times. And then after that, maybe every 5 months or 4 months, you watch the psychological teaching again, but you can just listen to that song, and the song will keep reminding you to stay in this mindset. It's like this discipline. Like I said, I tried to make the suffering of the discipline more fun. It's like having a really fun workout, like when they came out with Zumba or something, and people are like dancing to the music they want to do, or hip hop workouts and stuff, when they get to learn how to dance, but they don't have to like sign up for all sorts of hip hop classes, which would be awesome if we had those in every neighborhood. That would be great. But I love dance. I love movement. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the song that I made up. I wrote this song. I wrote the lyrics to it, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was 3 years ago. I won't even say that. No, I won't say what came up. It's something like, oh my gosh, it's been 3 years since. I won't say. I get all blushy. Anyway, one of my friends moved to Stockholm, and he's an amazing musician, and I just saw in my knowing that this wasn't the end for him. He really wanted to live in LA. Stockholm's very cold and depressing, and I won't tell his story, but he had to move us to Stockholm. But I knew that was just a path on his road. He can get back to LA. I don't know if he will, but I know, I have a knowing that he can, because he's just brilliant. And so, I mean, I love this guy. He's definitely just a friend. That's all right. I have to keep people in the friend category. Like, I won't go into that more, but anyway, it truly was. There's just some people, I feel so much for them, and I love them, you know. And I wish this for everyone. I wish to have this love for everyone. This is why I'm doing this channel, because I love you. I do. This is why I'm doing this part for free, and I'm doing all those other parts for free. All right. And so anyway, sometimes life, this is what I wrote down too, next to you're either going to have to suffer the pain of discipline. That means the discipline of saying no to a lot of things now, in order to be able to say yes to the things you really want to say. If I just kept going out with some random guy, you know, just to fill up the space because I wanted to be with someone, I wouldn't have developed all these really cool, amazing gifts that I have in me that I'm ready to share if I do end up with some amazing guy, right? And so that's suffering, because I see all these other people going out and having relationships and all this stuff. And it's a kind of suffering, but it's like, I'd rather do that than have the regret of missing Mr. Right, because I was with Mr. Right now, you know, so I gave that up a long time ago. And I don't mind. Anyway, so I won't get into my personal life. I just wanted, so I shared a little bit. All right. So I just understand that I'm going to play this now. I might talk a little bit, and then the rest you'll see. Okay. The teaching is going to be anchored to this. These 25 points that we got to, about 3 of them. Your strength is really your joy, knowing that you can shift into joy in any moment when you stop seeing yourself as a victim, when you understand that a narcissist, Satan is a narcissist. This is how he operates. And so he'll keep trying to pull you back in. It's just, oh my gosh, it's like the narcissist will keep acting like this charismatic person that you have to have in your life and you're worthless without him. That's what the devil does in this world. But he's lost. And so you don't have to be in fear. You don't have to be in sadness. You can be in joy. All right. So understand this for yourself. Apply these lyrics to your own life. This is what art does. It will awaken these different parts. Follow the story of this for yourself, right? Oh, and I forgot to say, I wrote the lyrics. Bobby Long wrote the music, and Bobby is my guitar instructor, and he had a song in the Twilight movie, and he's just such an amazing person. Like, he's married and has 2 kids, and he's one of those people that my heart just like, I love that guy. I just love him. So there's just people that are like that. I have my friend Alex. I have women like this too. Just love her. She's very artistic and beautiful. Anyway, had to go to Stockholm to get back to LA. I love my dreams behind me. Into the cold I lay, burning madness, can't control this hollow sadness. Come and heal my soul. Earth below me, sky above, the sun that calls me, fill me with your love. Where is sweetness? I know that sound. Take your shoes off for this hollow ground. Love is like the sunshine in the morning, but the sun comes out without or with you here. Love appears to us without warning. Now always love the feeling that we share. Calling heaven, send us your wings. I don't need diamonds or those pretty things. All I'm wanting, all I see is this sweet soul friend living here with me. Your love is like the sunshine in the morning, but the sun comes out without or with you here. Love appeared to us without warning. Now always love the feeling that we shared. Yeah, always love the feeling that we shared. All right. So that's the song I wrote. It's so weird to come back to it because it doesn't even feel like one that I wrote, but I did. And anyway, we're going to use that song to anchor in all of these truths. Now, let me read some of these truths to you so you feel like you know, you got some of them. And so I did put, what does it profit a man if he gains, or a woman, if he gains the whole world? What does it mean? What did you get? What? Ask yourself honestly, because we're in a fog. We're in a dream. Jesus says, let the dead bury the dead. They're walking dead. Wake up. You come and follow me, because Jesus was always teaching highest consciousness and freedom and love and integrity, like true integrity. Just, it's so beautiful. Now, after I learned how to be disciplined in all these other areas, to have this freedom to just, like, I'm not living in regret about anything, because I'm not doing anything that I regret, because it's like I had to close a bunch of doors on a lot of addictions, and I'm 10 or 11 months, I think 10 months sober from going back to this toxic pattern that I kept going back to. And so it just gives you all this energy so you can accelerate. So if you want to understand, you're not working, you're not, it says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. And then the next verse is like, for it is God who works in you to do this, blah, blah, blah. And so those two verses, a lot of spiritual truths are paradoxes. And so, yes, it's important for you to do the work. It's important for you to understand. We wait as children for them to come and teach us the right way. It's important. You don't wait anymore. Don't wait. The devil and the devil's system, if you want to understand the adversary of our soul, however you want to say, your egotism will try to keep you in this victim position, because then it's like, oh, I'm this child and I could just keep crying that my parents didn't show up to love me. Well, guess what? Just like this song, I saw it a different way too. It says this, the sun that calls me. That's the shining sun that says, no, I'm the source of all things and everything that grows, and you can have access to me. And then the Son of God calls us, because the God man came here on earth so that we could become as we were created. Jesus had a divine and a human nature. We're created in the image and likeness of God. So your divine nature is meant to be awake. You know, the Holy Spirit transforms you, but you have to work with. Otherwise, why is Jesus talking about the talents? Why is Jesus talking about the good soil and the bad soil, and how the devil wants to come and take it away from the good soil? And so the Psalms are revealing both of these realities simultaneously. All is well, and I learned this from an Eckhart Tolle class. All is well, and then as an army is at my back at the same time. You know, you have both. All shall be well. Every little thing is going to be all right, to quote Bob Marley. And then all this crap is going on at the same time. But both of these realities are at the same time. So when you understand this higher reality and start practicing meditation and living in these truths, then you're chill when all this other stuff happens around you, because you know that's not you. And it's just happening. And the God is in control. He's got the whole world in his hands, right? God puts gifts inside of you, like the three kings that brought the gifts. They're a symbol of the gifts. All right, much love.